So hello Facebook, hello Instagram. I am very, very excited today. I have a special guest joining us, Dr. Aisha Taylor, who's joining us from the US. So I'm so excited for you guys to hear Dr. Taylor's journey into the high ticket space, where she'll explain the reasons why she entered and how it's been going for her so far. And if you don't know who I am, I'll introduce myself. If you're new to my page, my name is Lara Rawson. I'm a high ticket sales coach. I've been in the online space now for 5 years. Ex-healthcare, also ex-low ticket, network marketing, and I also had a long career in advertising, sales and marketing, actually, in what feels like a previous life now. So yeah, welcome today. And let's get started by kicking off with, what were you doing, Dr. Taylor, before you joined the high ticket space?
Well, like you shared, I'm an OBGYN doctor. So I was delivering lots of babies, lots of babies, lots of surgeries. And I had really hit a point in my life about 4 years ago where I was just completely burned out. And I share this part of my journey so often because I've been practicing medicine almost 15 years. About 4 years ago, I had just pulled up to my office and I just literally could not get out of the car. I felt like I had nothing left to give that day. And so I was overwhelmed. My husband was also in healthcare at the time. And we just got to a place where, we were busy. We've been married for 25 years. Our kids were busy. They were active in sports. And so I was a busy wife, mom, and doctor, but actually an overwhelmed mom, wife, and doctor, trying to juggle all things at one time, and also trying to provide a living for myself and my family and tackle major debt.
Yeah. So what were the biggest challenges you were facing sort of on a day-to-day basis? Was it just that time constraint or the stress of it all? What
Yeah,
was your biggest?
so kind of both. My husband was also in healthcare at the time, and so we spent a lot of our marriage, because we were both in healthcare, spending one weekend a month together, one holiday a year together, maybe having dinner together 2 times a week. And he would be on call sometimes. Sometimes Monday would roll around and I'd say, I'll see you Thursday, because our schedules would just pass each other. We'd hand the kids off and then we would go on to our jobs, or it was my turn to be home with the kids or his turn to be home with kids. And we really weren't able to nurture our marriage. So basically had nothing but emotional crumbs left for each other. And so one of the big things for me is we also have a lot of debt. I mean, I don't know how many people understand how expensive it is to go to medical school to become a doctor. People think doctors are wealthy. We have all this money, and it's actually not the case. And there's a lot of debt, a lot of bills. I have kids and they needed to go to college, and I was trying to climb my way out of med school debt, which left me working more, right? Taking more calls, doing more things in the office. And that's what led me to hit that wall that day and just reach a point of just complete burnout, thinking I have to do something else for income. Like, this can't be it.
Yeah. And that's often how we come to that realization, isn't it? I mean, I've had a similar experience where I was managing a large team of people, and I was 20 weeks pregnant and had 2 toddlers under 4, and working all these hours and away from my husband. And then all of a sudden, enough is enough. And it's at that point in time where we unfortunately some of us have to get to that point before we realize we have to make a change.
Yes.
But looking back, it's a blessing, isn't it?
Oh,
Okay?
it was huge. I'm
Huge
grateful
blessing.
for that day. I'm grateful
Yeah.
for that day. I really am, because that day changed my entire life.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So what has been the favorite part for you of this business so far?
I think discovering it. Number one was, I'd never, I mean, I kind of done some low ticket things. You mentioned that. I thought, okay, well, let me try skincare. Everyone wants skincare. Let me try that because maybe that can earn me some extra money to pay down debt. But I realized I was working so many more hours trying to get someone to buy a $50 eye cream. And so I thought, well, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe this just isn't for me. And so when I came across this community, right, the high ticket community, and I uncovered what's possible, and not just what's possible with support. Like our community, I've never met any community like it. So
Yeah.
supportive, so much education, so many people getting to where I was trying to get to at that time. So I think for me, discovering the opportunity and coming into a community that's been so transformative for me as someone who
Yeah.
had really no experience in sales or online or offline. Like I'm a physician. I practice medicine. I knew nothing
Yeah.
about this, and to have the success and the support has been like amazing.
Yeah. That is wonderful. I've
Mhm.
felt exactly the same way. It's unrivaled in anything that I've seen in 5 years in this space. So, what would you say has been your biggest result so far? I guess it doesn't have to be monetary; it could be something else. What would you say that was?
Well, I'm going to say two things. I'm going to say one that I'm going to give one non-monetary, and then I'm going to give monetary, because I think that's important to put that into context. Because what I find is if you're going to have a doctor spending time outside of the hospital or time away from their family, it really needs to be getting me to my goals. It really needs to be transforming
Yeah.
some things in my life to make me want to spend extra time or add it into the parts of my day, right? So I think one biggest thing that's non-monetary is I'm not the same person I was 4 years ago. Like
Yeah.
my mindset and my ability to just visualize success and not just visualize it, to know that it's attainable. I'm not someone that's stuck in the mindset of this is just as good as it's going to get. This is the best it's going to be. I just have to ride this out to retirement. I'm no longer that person. Like I have so much more vision for my life, my marriage, my kids. Um, so I think that's the biggest thing, the mindset transformation. And the
Yeah.
second thing, that it's monetary, because money makes the world go round. We're not going
Yeah.
to just do things. We do some things because we are passionate about it, but if it can pay you to help you change your life, why would you not do it? So I
Mm.
think for me, it's helping me get out of massive med school debt. And this business has afforded me the opportunity to purchase an income property in a different state. Things that
Yeah.
I never thought was possible because I was just on the grind of just debt, paying down debt, check to check, just trying to get out of debt. This
Mm.
afforded me very, very lucrative passive income from my
Yeah.
home, from my
Yeah.
phone. And I
Yeah.
just feel like people need to understand the power of this space and not
Mhm.
think it's good to be true, because I thought that. I thought
Yeah.
there's no way. And now that I'm living it, I feel like it's selfish not to share it with other people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love to because as a doctor, you would have spent how many years at university?
Oh my
What?
goodness. So total my training has been about 13 years
Yeah,
training.
amazing. And
Mhm.
it's amazing that during all of that 13 years of education and training, that mindset piece isn't touched on, is it?
No, it's not actually. You're taught to just put your head down and get to the
Yeah,
goal. There's so much volume that you have to learn about healing the human body and treating the human
yeah,
body. You literally put your head down and you come up for air at graduation and you're like, okay, now what? Right. And
yeah,
so you don't pay attention to yourself, because everything in medicine is about being selfless, right? Giving,
yeah,
giving,
yes,
giving. But also in medicine, we can give to a fault, right? We can lose ourselves in the process and forget that we're people too.
yeah, yeah. And that's wonderful now that you can show your children who are now at university and now going through the process that, yes, they can get their qualification and their degrees and their credentials. But hey, there's another piece to this puzzle of life. There's another piece to being the best you can be. So I love that. And I get goosebumps thinking about that too, because as parents, our kids tend to do what we do, don't they? I mean,
Yeah.
and your kids are likely to become doctors or professionals like you and your husband. But now they don't have to be the burnt out version. They don't have to be the selfless to a fault version. They can now incorporate that gold into their lives as adults and then transform their children's lives too. So that's so exciting. I love that.
I think the most important thing that I've shown them over this journey is that they have options, right? I think when you go through school, you go through college, you decide to become a physician or a professional in whatever, you feel like that's your path and that's it, right? But I think the most valuable thing for my kids to have seen was me shift gears and to open up a world of options. And so now, although they are in college and they're attaining their education and have done very well, it's a choice for them. It's not the end all be all. They have options. I'm teaching them how to build multiple streams of income. I'm teaching them the power and the beauty of network marketing, something that I would have never wrapped my head around.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I love it. And so what would you say to people who are sitting on the sidelines, they've been watching your journey, they're scared or they're afraid, they think it's not for them either because they have no sales experience or not enough money or not enough time, or perhaps they're scared of what other people would think. You know, I've been curious watching your journey, you know, as a doctor. Have you copped a lot of flack? You don't have to answer this. Have you copped a lot of flack from your colleagues? Because I would imagine you would have. And you have to be a strong-willed woman to get past that.
Yes. I would say initially it was hard. I did, because they're like, why would you do that? Why would you want to sell anything? Why would you want to convince someone that you could earn the money? Like, why wouldn't you just practice medicine? And I'm grateful for those people because they're the ones that gave me the drive that I needed to prove them wrong. And not just prove them wrong, those are the same people that are still stuck, burned out, asking me now, how did you make it happen? But honestly, for me, I was taught very early on that you can learn anything you're taught and be successful at it. And I blocked a lot. I mean, I'm not friends with anyone that I work with on my social media. I blocked a lot of them intentionally because this is something I do outside of medicine. This is a part of who I am. This brings me passion to help change people's lives and show them that they have options, and not just options. You can be financially set free, right? Like that's important for people to understand.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So your advice to them would be?
Run, don't walk. Run, don't walk. Ask, inquire, get on a call, figure it out, whatever you have to do. If you want a different life, why are you sitting there subscribing to the one you have now? The only way anything will change is if you take action and you ask and you do it scared.
Love it. Perfect. All right. So anyone who's been watching Dr. Aisha's journey, reach out to her if you're in the slightest bit curious, and she can get you the information you need to make your decision. Anyone watching my journey, same thing, reach out. We would love to help you and share this, you know, this amazing opportunity, the best one in this space by far.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Dr. Aisha, for joining me today. It's been a pleasure, and you have a lovely evening.
All right, you too. Take care. Bye.